Hey traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Macy's preview for the earnings. I believe they're scheduled to report earnings today after the close, 5:15. All right, so I don't usually take big positions into earnings, especially not in Macy's. First of all, I don't like retail in general, definitely not brick and mortar retail, even though they're trying to make the switch finally after 15 years or 10 years being beaten down by Amazon. Anyway, long story short is the short-term reaction to the earnings itself has very little to do with the actual quality of the report, more so to do with the expectations. And I can't tell you what's built in as far as expectations, but I can tell you what the options market are telling me that this is built in. And I did it for Nvidia and I forget the other stock, and they were like within pennies. However, it's a headline, and headlines usually override everything else. So having said that, I'm looking at the options market, and here's what I see. And again, this is my interpretation of what is actually in the options market for this week. There is a plus or minus 2.7-ish, let's call it, $2.50, $2.7 move up or down. Directions unknown, but it looks like there is some downside pressure to 28.55. Can't read my own writing. So basically retest these couple of candles right here, which would be the neckline that they're trying to defend with a little overshoot lower to probably close that gap right there. So that's normal. Okay, there's some downside pressure there, and there is some support, but it doesn't start until a little bit lower. So closer to 28.1, 0.2, wishy-washy, not a hard line in the sand. So it makes sense. They want to retest this, but they have support just below it. There is a more sinister scenario that would bring it down to 26.5. Not calling for it. I'm just saying it could be there, and I should probably draw lines there for future reference. Yeah, let's see here. Boom, another one. So, but to get to that one, it would have to cut through a lot better support, which is around 27.5-ish. So it has a strong support, which makes sense. If I look to the left, that's that big candle right there. So whoever fought over this pivot point right there, here, here, and here, is going to probably fight over it there. So that makes sense that they picked that point. So there's no resistance until they hit 31.1. So you can say that they have room to run, but there is some downside pressure with some support behind the first small downside pressure. So looking at this box, I can't remember where it came from, so let me zoom out to 5 years weekly candle. Here we are. Boy, that is an ugly stock. Okay, so this whole zone is pivotal. So if I extend that box, they've tried to stabilize at it. Now they have a nice consolidation period here that they can defend the attacks. So if I wanted to go long, I probably would wait out or sell some puts out in time to hide behind this level, even if I can. So I can't take big positions without having all the facts, and seeing the report will give me all the facts, and then I can decide which way I want to trade it. Now, the other thing, if I'm looking at it here, not to call this, but in addition, the price action here, head and shoulder-ish. They tried to rally, and they can't even match this one. So if they lose the neckline, wherever you want to draw the neckline, I'm not a technician, but I can play one on TV. You can tell that everything says, okay, they could test these zones, and they don't really have strong support until somewhere around here. So it all makes sense. If I'm long, I'll probably want to protect it. But if I'm long for the long term, I probably wouldn't even worry about it. But to go along here with a big position, I would hesitate. So if I wanted to take a big position, I'd probably start small. Easiest way to do it is to go out in time, so I can give myself time to be right in the long term and not a knee-jerk reaction, and do some debit call spreads near the money, at the money, wherever you want to play them. They cost about half as much to be at the money or near the money, so why not give myself some time, June, July, August, wherever, and this way I'd be long with not a lot of risk, just whatever I pay to open position. All right, Nick signing out. If you have any questions, let me know. You can email me at sellspreads@gmail.com. sellspreads@gmail.com.